Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today we are doing a quick everyday yoga flow. So this is intended to be a full body practice that you could do every day or multiple times a week and still get all of the wonderful full body benefits. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out your mat and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. Now we'll begin with some happy elephants to get the body and the lymphatic system moving. We'll step the feet out towards the outer edges of the mat or a little wider. We'll extend the arms out nice and wide to a T, reach with the fingertips. Now open in one direction, lift the back heel as we turn, and we'll open in the other, moving back and forth and letting the arms sway of their own free will. Let the arms run out of momentum, coming to rest by our sides as we slide the feet into a mountain pose. With an in-breath, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, bow the chest forward. Inhale, halfway lift, engaging through the core, reaching forward with the top of the head. Exhale to fold. Now nodding the head yes, and shaking the head no. We'll pause here and find a way to wiggle or play in this pose. Now with our next inhale, we'll find that halfway lift again. Exhale to fold, reverse swan dive the arms, drop them down to the floor. Lift the chest, the eyes, and the arms towards the ceiling. We'll interlock all fingers but to the pointers and send those up nice and tall. Now reaching the hands over to our right side, we'll pick up our left foot and bring it out to our right side as well. So we're pressing to the left with the hips and to the right with the fingertips. Inhale, we'll move through center. Bring that foot in, and we'll pick up the right foot. Take it over to our left as we reach the arms to the left and the hips towards the right. Inhale, we'll lift through center again, planting both feet. Unentwining the hands, we'll bring them to our cactus. Now sliding the eyes up to where the wall and the ceiling meet in front of us. We can lift the chest if we'd like for a baby back bend, or we can keep the chest and back where it is. Pulling the shoulder blades into kiss at the spine. And with an inhale, we'll reach tall towards the ceiling again, bringing the chest and eyes back to neutral. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. We'll bow the chest forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, we'll nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Doing the same with the arms, letting them wiggle. And drop straight down from the shoulders. Now we'll imagine the hands are heavy or that we're holding stones in our hands and that the top of the head is heavy. We'll bend a little further through the knees as we start to roll or ragdoll our way back towards standing, really taking your time and rolling one vertebrae up past the next. Lift the shoulders up to the ears and work them back a few times. And move back to our mountain pose, bringing ankles under knees, under hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out wide, and set them down. Lifting the top of the head over the body. And rolling the shoulders back and down the spine. Now we'll drop the left ear over towards the left shoulder. We'll roll through center, bringing chin to chest as we move the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And we'll roll the neck side to side in these little half circles. And the next time that our chin is to the chest, we'll slowly bring the eyes back up to a neutral position. Turning sideways on our mat, we'll heel toe the feet away from each other. And then we can bring the feet so they're parallel, or so the toes are a little further out than the heels are, so the toes are pointed away from each other. Sitting up nice and tall through the chest, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. And with our exhale, again, we'll swan dive the chest, bowing forward to our wide-legged forward fold. Taking some time here to wiggle out. We can grab 4 opposite elbows and find a sway side to side. We can find a slight bounce or a forward and back shift on our feet. Now we'll walk the hands out a step further in front of the shoulders, pressing into the ends of our fingers. We'll shift forward, still pressing the heels into the earth, and bring the shoulders a little further than our fingertips. Now pressing the hips up and back behind, still pressing down through those heels. And we'll find a forward and back shift. Bringing our weight into our hands, and then pressing our hips up and back behind. Trying to keep the heels down the entire time. Good. We'll slide our left hand in a little closer so it is underneath of our chest. And with a big breath in, we'll reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, finding a gentle twisting motion. Exhale, coming back through center. Replace the left hand with the right. Inhale, left arm will reach up. Exhale, we'll bring that left hand back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll add a little more bend to the knees to help us stand back up. Extending the arms out from each other for our star pose. Lift the chest and wiggle the fingers out. Now bringing our hands to heart center. And we're going to turn our right toes up towards the top of our mat. Our left toes will bring perpendicular, bending into our right knee and reaching the arms out for our warrior two. Now we're bending through that front knee and rolling towards the pinky side of our right toes to keep our hips open, reaching long with the fingertips. We'll flip our right palm up towards the ceiling. With an inhale, lift the right arm up and over the body towards the back of our mat. Exhale, we'll cartwheel the arm, bring our right elbow to our right knee as we reach the left arm up and over the body towards the front of our mat. Again, inhale to cartwheel the arms. We'll lengthen out through our front leg as we again reach the right arm to the back of the mat. And keeping our right leg straight, we'll reach forward with the right hand as we move to our triangle pose, stacking the left arm over top of the right and bringing the eyes down to our right hand or up to our left. Again, with an inhale, we'll float the body back up, bringing hands to heart center. Picking up our right toes, we'll wiggle them out as we pivot them in so they're parallel to our left toes. And we'll pick up our left toes and turn them to our mat, to the short edge of our mat, extending the arms out, bending into our left knee. So we're back to our warrior two. Flipping the left palm up towards the ceiling with an inhale, we'll come up and over towards the back of the mat. Exhale to cartwheel the arms, bringing left elbow to left knee. Reach the right arm up and over to the top of the mat. And again, we'll cartwheel the arms, lengthening out through our front leg, taking the left leg towards straight as we reach the left hand up and over to the back of the mat. And then again, cartwheeling the arms, reaching the left hand out in front as we hinge at the waist, stacking the arms for our triangle pose. We can bring our eyes down to our left hand or up to our right hand. With an inhale, we'll float the body back up, bringing hands to heart center as we pick up and wiggle out our left toes. Pivot them around to our side mat, again, the long side of our mat. This time we'll bring heels in towards center, toes to point away from each other. We'll tuck the hips forward so we have a long spine from our tailbone out through the top of our head as we bend the knees and sit straight down into our goddess pose or our crab pose. We can keep our hands at heart center, or we could bring those arms to our cactus pose. We're rolling the feet towards the outer edges, towards our pinky toes to keep the hips open. We're pulling the shoulder blades in towards the spine so we have long collarbones across the front of the body. And we're focusing on that long spine by tipping the hips forward or tucking them under. You can find a little bit of a sway side to side here. Or we can find a little bit of a pulse or a bounce. And then we'll extend the legs towards straight, reach the arms out wide, lift the chest back to our star pose. Wiggle it out. With our exhale, we'll bring hands down to our sides as we start to heel toe the feet in together. Moving back to our mountain pose. And we'll circle the arms back and around the body to interlock the fingers or grab for opposite elbows. We'll pull the shoulders back and down, lengthening the hands towards the floor, or pulling the shoulders back and down, keeping hands on opposite elbows. We'll add a little more of a bend to the knees so that we could start hinging forward. Now we can keep the arms or hands where they are on our low back, or we can reach the hands up towards the ceiling as we forward fold. And then we'll bring the hands back down towards our tailbone, unentwining the fingertips. We'll drop them down to the floor and wiggle out. Nodding the head, yes. And shaking the head, no. And again, we'll imagine the hands and the top of the head are very heavy as we bend the knees a little further. Start at the lowest point of the spine and ragdoll our way back to standing again. Finding a few shoulder rolls or shrugs at the top of our spine, at the top of our roll. And we'll again move back to our mountain pose. Bringing ankles under knees, under hips. We'll lift the shoulders up, work them back and down the spine. Rotate the pinky fingers, the palms forward. And we'll close the eyes, pressing into the feet, into the toes. And we'll take a few deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose. And letting the breath go as a sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.